All right, guys. Hey, what's up? It's me, Jay, the Duke of Nerds. No K-Mac this morning, just because I'm going to come at you guys hard and fast a little bit. Just because I got to get my day up and running. I have gotten everybody's messages from TikTok that reached out through me, through Instagram and Facebook and other stuff. I'm fine. I'm just pissed about certain things geopolitically, and I am making my geopolitical statements, and I made it over there. So those who know me know that I kind of know how to read things, right? So I go through, and I've been studying what's been going on over here in Russia and overseas for the last few weeks and months and thousands of days. And I've been watching this thing slowly unfold, and I know when we're getting fucked with, right? I know that when, Assad falls over here and this blockade around Taiwan pops up, I'm smart enough to know that they want to go to fight. I'm smart enough to know that when you drop a warhead that is your prized possession warhead that you don't want anybody to get a profile on yet, when you drop that and it costs you your economy almost $1 billion to drop a bomb that you did not want your flight path to be realized, I can see you're desperate, right? So I know when we're about ready to go to war. I know when we're about ready to go to fights. I said I saw shaping operations. If you cannot read through the headlines and see where your governments are doing shaping operations overseas,
right. Folks,
that's on you. But what I am trying to tell my TikTok friends, yes, I told these communist pieces of shit to go fuck themselves, because our government has tried very nicely to play with TikTok over the last few years. We've been very polite with what we're accepting from China the last few years. And now they want to go get in our face right here. All right? Go read the headlines yourself. You don't have to go through my guys. Go through CNN, Fox, World News, any of these apps, dude. Go read it yourself. I know a lot of my friends do not want to accept the fact that TikTok will one day go away, and I'm seeing the lines drawn in the sand, and I am going to go ahead and jump onto the west side of go screw yourself, commie. That's why we're here. That's kind of what that message is all about, guys. I don't give a shit about your politics. I don't give a shit about Trump. I don't give a shit about, the last guy. I'm smart enough to know that the Rockefellers really control the shots, right? And realistically, I'm smart enough to know that the stage is being set for stuff that's going to happen. We have no control over this. Crazy people want to have a fight. They want to go down gloriously in battle, because they're all being diagnosed some way, shape, or form with some kind of cancer or disease or something, and they all want to go out cool. That's what we're sitting at right now. A whole bunch of crazy people wanting to die cool with their finger on a button. However, it's not going to end up that cool for them. They have nothing to really stand against us. It's going to be a futile attempt. It's just going to look cool on camera, guys. That's where we're at. I'm just telling the commies to go fuck themselves. That's why I'm here. A couple other questions that were asked. Why do I use Snoop Dogg? For my voice mod, whenever I'm using chatbot or having text audios. Let's go here real quick. If you ever know me and you're jumping off from some of the other projects, there's an Easter egg for some of you older viewers of mine. If you know me, you know the quad spot. Let's see if Google even knows the quad spot anymore. Yep, there's the quad spot, right? If you know me, you know the quad spot. I've been playing around back ends years ago, 11 years ago now. 12 years ago. I mean, this is old YouTube, right? And I'm trying to bring some of you guys over from these projects over here too. So if you guys know this time, you know that I spent some time at Maker Studios doing some stuff, and Snoop Dogg was there filming the epic rap battles of history. Christmas episode, it was the middle of July. He was the first guy in California to have a legalized marijuana card and you just smoke openly, and that fucker flexed his right, got everybody at Maker Studios stoned. I mean, that green room was so tight. So out of respect for the first guy who ever got me stoned, being Snoop Dogg, that's why I listen to Snoop Dogg in the background. Actually, the getting stoned is how I got Dave his camera. Maker Studios gave Dave a special camera because I showed them where you could hear Snoop Dogg talking about the industry. So a story about Dave and how I got stoned by Snoop Dogg. I was at Baker Studio and we're walking around. They're showing us the studios, and me and Dave were all nerding out because we're the camera ops, so we're all in camera land, and we're touching all their red cameras and all this like 4K camera stuff that was coming out. Like, we were actually looking at it in their little locker cells, and while I was in the locker cell listening, I could hear something. And so I went and got Danny Diamond and Dustin, who run Maker Studios at the time, right before they sold it off to Disney. We were sitting there, and I was hearing Snoop Dogg talking, so I went and got Danny, and I was like sitting there, and I was like, "Hey, Danny, can you come show me something?" Right? And I was trying to be very polite about it, and I brought him into the equipment room there, and I was like, "Hey, can we talk about this camera?" And I showed that camera I was just pointing at one of their cameras, and I told him to just be quiet and listen. And we could hear this whole conversation about Snoop Dogg, the operation, and what he thought about it, the pros and cons already. And we got some wisdom from, but by sitting there so long in that room was right by like the air duct exchange, and it was throwing out all the weed in that room. So by the time we got out of that weapon, or that, not the weapons, the camera storage locker, we were stoned as shit. Like, me and Danny looked at me, he's like, "Are we stoned?" I was like, "I think we are." And, you know, it was a funny story from that point on. So yes, that's why I use Snoop Dogg in my text messages whenever you hear him talk, because there was a lot of wisdom, and I was able to kind of use that wisdom to get my buddy a camera. So out of respect for that moment and how cool it was just to be a nerding out about a camera and getting to get wisdom from Snoop Dogg at the same time was kind of cool. So we were, you know, that's kind of why you'll always hear me using Snoop Dogg in the background. The first guy to ever get this veteran stoned, and, you know, he probably doesn't even know. Like, he doesn't even know. Like, it was, for me, it was a cool day. For him, it was, I think, Wednesday in California. Like, so it was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And for him, it was just a standard Wednesday. So those things being said, that's why we're here, guys. That's why I'm doing this stuff over here. I have to be original, right? I cannot just lean on TikTok's algorithm, copyright laws, sounds. I have to kind of, if I'm going to use my presenter stuff and be on this side of the table again, now I have to be original. So you're going to see me playing around and sharing some stories, wisdoms, and advice on this channel. Eventually, I am going to, once I get all these puzzle pieces put together in my head correctly, start bringing in some nerds from different genres and starting to poke out some stuff on the server, because there's a lot of theatrics with this RP server that I'm seeing, like traditional theater traditions that I want to bring in some of my theater nerds for to help prove that I'm seeing something right. And then also, like, I want to bring in some of my Ren Fair nerds and have them sit down and point out what I'm seeing about the Ren Fair side and make sure I'm seeing that stuff right. And then once I've confirmed with those two groups of nerds, I've already proven with a big group of nerds that this is authentic RP site, right? There is good play here. There's good players on this table. Like, I've confirmed the quality of player with a group of nerds. I'm now confirming a couple other things, so that way I can sit down with like one of my bigger nerds who is going to be going out soon here to Wizards of the Coast and working on this game therapy thing that he's been doing. and I'm pointing out, I'm trying to make sure I'm seeing stuff right, so that way when I go and I bring in my psych people, my psych nerds, and my veteran nerds with PTSD, that I'm pointing out stuff that actually works, and I'm trying to apply my Kevin MacLeod school of thought, like copy shit that works, and then where it doesn't work, suggest to people that it's done, like where we need to fix it, find the way to fix it, find a way to clean it up and make it work better. I'm seeing from like this red line RP guys, and one of the reasons why you see me talking about it a little bit more and more here, just because it's something new for me to play with, but also just because I'm seeing these nerd guys up here being really cool nerds. So like this guy Trey Sanders and Opie and I think Frenchie. So these big people up here that you'll always see pop up, they're not just gaming. Like when they're there, like I've taken the time to respect what they're doing. These guys are not just gaming. They're actively coding. They're staying in character. They are testing ideas for the server. They're communicating what's working and what's not working. They're doing so much at once. Like once you learn how they're speaking, and you realize they're doing stuff that you the player are not going to ever be able to do there, because they're the admin guys developing live in front of us and staying in character. Once you like being a nerd who's understood like what it is to make something work like this and to keep it running and going. It's a lot. Like, from what I'm understanding, these guys who are building the server thing, this live Renaissance theater stage, and have brought in aspects in life to kind of teach players like a little bit of on and off the game strategies of life, right? So I'm seeing some of these traditions of standards of like, Renaissance people. Like they try to help you take what you do in the Renaissance fair and go be a normal person day to day, right? Like they try to teach you, all life is acting, kid. You're just, here you get to be a Renaissance fair person. Over there, you have to act like you're a professional. And this is how you separate life. That's, how they use role play to help people separate, right? Emotions, feelings, and times, right? In the Army, we used to call it the rule of the hat. When I wear this hat, I gotta go kill. When I wear this hat, normally I get to go fuck with people. When I wear this hat, I am normally running special missions for a chaplain, right? When I have my beret on, I'm supposed to look cute for posters. That's the rule of the hat, and each hat requires a different mentality, right? And then you have your civilian hats. Like I put this hat on, and I'm a dad, and I have to go be a dad, not a soldier, right? And that's what the Army would teach us is the hats. The Renaissance fair people, we tucked that logic in from the Renaissance, and the theater people of these are the characters I'm putting on. I put them away, and I go play. This is who I am at the core, right? This is me as a professional. This is me as a human. And they were trying to always teach us that. We just didn't get it. Our generation just couldn't understand. We were too busy trying to impress them instead of listen to them. So just putting that stuff out there. I'm just trying, I know this was a big weird video, but I'm trying to answer like 80 different types of questions without calling anybody out for stuff and questions and concerns. Is yes, hey guys, you asked me all this shit in the background. I did hear you. This is why I said stuff. This is why I'm here. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm playing around here. You guys know me, and I'm not really trying to be all cool and presentive because most of you guys know me from all my past projects. This is why Jay said what he said to these commies, because I am taking my right to protest against communism, tyranny, and oppression. And I'm standing up and I'm going back to Google and I'm telling TikTok, you want my data, pay for it from Google like every other country has to, right? I am protesting by my standards and creeds because I see foreign countries wanting to get in a fight. And I'm standing on the side right now. I've already picked my side. I stand with the West. But other than that, guys, a little bit more about what's going on here. I know I've been moving quickly because I'm seeing stuff happening. And also, you know, those who know me, it's that time of year for me. The kids are coming soon, and I'm going to be shutting down my online stuff probably soon and disappear from the internet until like February soon. And that's why I'm trying to rush up my ideas here, grind out what's going on, and that way, hopefully in February when I come back, I have like at least 30 of you guys, 45 of you guys here. And I know who you are, and I can make something entertaining for you.